Tidbits. Tidbits. Wow. Welcome to Our Bloc Community Media's first YouTube video. Today we're going to introduce our first program, Our Bloc's Tidbits, the show that gives you information and knowledge that others just don't want to seem to fucking give you. Welcome. It's a very laid-back show. What YouTube channel is it? But look, I've got a couple of things I just want to share with you on how to get over something that is so pervasive in creative industries, and that is writer's or creative block. That is those days where you just sit there and you think, fuck, I have no ideas, I have no emotions apparently, I'm just this stone wall that can't put anything down to paper or can't put any melody out. It's true, you know, you're going to have those days, you're going to have those weeks, but there are so many little and big things that you can do to curb them, to improve them, and to make sure that that one day doesn't rattle you for a very long time. So let's take it back to the source, first of all. So I've learned that there are kind of two key ways that humans derive inspiration. Like, I'm sure there are so many other masterfully brilliant ways that we get inspiration to make things. But there are two main ways that I've found. The first being emotional drawing. So if some event, something has deeply upset you or inspired you or changed your life or changed your day, tapping into that emotion is a way to bring up lyrics, song ideas, melodies, the whole gambit, the whole kit and caboodle. It is a way to just start releasing ideas and then just seeing, you know, you've written down 20 words and you pick 3 of them. That is emotional drawing. That is just shutting up other people for a little bit and feeling the happiness or feeling the intense sadness or feeling the intense anger and being like, I'm going to channel this into something right now. Those pit of the stomach moments or those inspirational moments. And people think that these moments are rare. There is a way, and there are ways and strategies to increase these moments in your life so you feel like you lead a richer, more experiential life, a fuller life. Gratitude, 100% gratitude for the little things, gratitude for the big things, gratitude for the things you wish to be in existence, being thankful to yourself for doing each task that you do, for saying, wow, you know, it's almost like a reparenting of yourself and a reorientation of how you perceive yourself to be. That is a great way to improve your range of human emotion, how much you lean into things and how much you don't, you know. If you're in an impressed state, you are leaning into any emotion. That doesn't matter what it is. If you are in a depressed or stoned state, you are not leaning into the emotions and you are not processing them either. So look, I don't want to get too far into that because I don't want to be the one that don't base your psychological and your mental health plans on me, alright? Just hear out these little tips that I'm getting in. The second way to draw inspiration is what I will call localized inspiration. Localized inspiration comes from an event, a place, a setting, rather than focusing on what the emotion is doing within you, rather than focusing on what is intrinsically happening in you, is what you're doing when you draw emotionally, when you draw inspiration emotionally, you're thinking of what is happening intrinsically within you, churning or freeing. Is it freedom? Is it chaining? Localized is external. It is setting your gaze on something. It is setting your gaze on something outside of yourself, whether that's a beach, whether that's a rainforest, whether that's space, whether that's another person, whether that's a family member. That's why there's so many songs about interpersonal relationships. That's why there's so many songs about partying. That's why there's so many songs about events that people go to, concerts, pubs, whatever is happening in the society. That is the localized inspiration. That's where artists are drawing their inspiration from locally, and you can say that it's from their experience, and the two kind of meld together. You can write lyrics that come from a place of looking externally, and then also feeling how you felt in that moment too when you were there. Wow, I felt overwhelmed and in awe. But it's the two collide. So some tips to help fostering localized inspiration within yourself, especially when you're feeling writer's block, I would say, and it's hard during lockdown, especially in that context in Australia, but I would say where you can, just go to appreciate the immensity of what is currently around you. I feel like, especially if you're in Sydney or in a city that's locked down, I mean half the country is, but if you're in a place like that where you can't move too much and you feel like you are restricted, just look to the little nooks and crannies around your neighborhood. Just look for the things that make it different. It might not seem like it's different. It might all seem like a concrete jungle depending on where you live, or a suburban wasteland or bush. But there will always be little things in there, little local things that people do that will inspire you. And so as much as you can, go out and walk. The tips are the same for both. And I would say that it's the localized that comes first, that in a lot of cases that makes people think and feel about their feelings and emotions, really come to observe their feelings and emotions, And that's where you've got to kind of, because you have some willpower, you have some control here and in your heart, you can kind of make sure that you are not just affected, that you yourself are affecting. There are little things that you can do to make sure that you are affecting. So that is just working on being kind to yourself and developing your sense of self and developing a personality that suits with you, that doesn't suit with what your parents or your friends or what your current workmates or what your current circle wants of you. And the third and final tip for this video, because I could talk for a while, but the third and final tip is be bored. Do not be distracted, but be bored. Sit somewhere. Just sit somewhere and just see if you can sit there for half an hour. Just see if you can sit there for 15 minutes without touching your phone, without touching a book, without thinking about the past, thinking about the future. Just sit there and see what starts coming up. In these moments, you know why you have why you have shower thoughts, or when you're brushing your teeth, you have teeth thoughts. It's because you allow your mind to switch off, actually, in a sense. You allow your anxieties to switch off because it's kind of a safe place that you're jumping into, it's a place where there's no expectations of you. And so that's where, and you place no expectations upon yourself either. And so that's where you start synthesizing, you start having all of the things that you experienced in the day, all of the things that you read, all the things that you viewed, all of the things that you heard, and you start synthesizing, wow, this person said this thing to me, and then, oh, this person said another thing to me that was similar, but develops the idea. And so that's where new synthesis comes from. It comes from feeling and thinking on your own. And so I want to say, be bored. Just give yourself some time each day to be bored. Okay, that was a lot, but I hope it helps. Thank you for joining me on Our Bloc's Tidbits, the first episode. Wow, I'm sure that they're going to get much better from here. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bits, that was Tidbits. Bits, that was Tidbits.